And so as we're going from city to city, location to location, the same way we're doing with this task force, we started building up a following, but also started building up a groundswell of people that were like, hey, we should have got this right. We needed to get this right. And because Senator Sanders was the main speaker at most of these events, they were, he has people that's, behind the scenes, or these people that are involved with this process. The voices that were coming to our side at the end of every meeting started to put pressure onto Senator Sanders, calling his office, reaching out and saying, hey, listen, I know you don't get a choice, but what can we do to get somebody from the U.S. Freedom Project onto this task force? Because they know what they're talking about. They've been, obviously, based on what they're saying, and they have receipts, they've been advocating for this since the beginning for it to be done right. If we're going to have a task force, how about we got to get it right? And so that's when they came to me and say, hey, listen, what do you think about being on this task force? And so we took it back to the team. We had a long back and forth, no beef, but it was, it was a very tense back and forth. But at the end, we voted, and what we voted on was that we did not want to be a part of this task force to give it any level of validity based on all that we knew, all that we had experienced, and what the eventual inevitable outcome of this task force is, if nothing changes. And so we felt that our best contribution to this process would to be what we're doing right now, speaking truth to power, letting people know, hey, yes, we were in this fight, we support reparations, but this ain't that, and here's all the reasons why it ain't. And so that is where we felt we will be most effective, because what we knew is just from some of the stories of the past, we didn't want to be a mascot, and what we also didn't want was them to pull the okie doke on us in the background, colluding like they've been doing this entire time, and then say, well, the Biden and the U.S. Freedom Project was a part of it. So it can't be that bad because they've been trying to fight to get it done right. So if they're a part of it, then it has to be done right, right? And now that kind of ties our hands. And also on the task force, there's but so much speaking out about it that I could do, or that the organization that I represent could do, without being a conflict of interest. And so that, for all those reasons, we decided to not put our name in the hat, to turn down the offer to be on it. Because again, like I said, in our estimation and just in my spirit, I know that we made the right decision now that I see how it's been playing out, but I just had to feel in my spirit that I knew that they would use us. And I was like, I can't allow myself to be used, even if it was something that would possibly raise our profile or give us more validity in this space, because those things were on the table and those were talking points. Because, if you're an organization that's fighting for reparations and you're on a reparations task force, there's a level of cachet and a point on your resume that you could point to in moving forward. But thankfully, our team and myself, it's the great thing about it is, I'll say it like this: when you cannot be bought, there is no price tag. And so there was nothing that they could offer me to compromise all that I knew was the truth, to give this task force any bit of validity, because it deserves none.
That's right. Integrity. Okay. So now I wanted to, so you spoke about us meeting at the Schomburg.
Right.
And I just want to go back to that because, and you also spoke about Senator Saunders. Is it Saunders or Sanders?
It's one of those.
I guess it's Sanders. There's no U in there. It's Sanders.
Tomato.
Right. So Senator.
What's his other name?
You already know what the name I'm about to bring up, because you see the picture I picked. Okay. So at the Schomburg, right? When I was first introduced to Senator Sanders, right? His last name is Sanders. That's even crazier. That his name is Sanders, like the Colonel. Senator Sanders had on this seersucker suit right here that he got on right here, I don't remember if he had the bow tie on. So to me, and everybody laughs at me or whatever, that's why I don't know his name, because I don't never call him by his name. I always call him, Senator Seersucker Suit? You mean who are you talking about? Seersucker Suit? Because I'm just trying to figure out. Anyway, I thought I would share this picture with the family. Okay, let's get back to business.
Listen, we need an ethnic designation.
Right.
We need something that is going to be on the books for us, that's one, constitutionally sound, and something that will allow us to get the set-asides that we deserve and that we need, that we're not currently getting. And so we got with our champion, Member Lucas. She looked at the bill, said, yes, let's do it. And she got it and signed it into, not signed them, I'm sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself. She got that's speaking to existence.
That's right. Manifested.
Right. Yeah, she took our bill draft, took it to the Legislative Bill Draft Department, and got our bill a number. So it's an official bill. And talking about spinning the block, right? And people coming back around that were not on our side in the beginning.
Okay, now who?
Senator James Sanders.
Oh, look,
Rockaways.
He was on the flyer for the breakfast.
That's right. He said, you know what? I think y'all right on this one.
Mr. Seersucker Suit himself?
That's it.
Mm.
He took the bill. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I said, he said what now?
Right. He said, hey, y'all write on this. And I'm going to create the bill on the Senate side because, again, anything that's going to become a law has to pass the New York State Assembly and has to pass the New York Senate. So prior to this, remember, we had a reparations bill that they were working actively against to stop from even beginning a bill for it to hit the floor for a vote or for it to be debated, like in the case at the Legislative Caucus weekend. But now we actually have a bill in the Senate side, in the Assembly side, and on top of that, our bill in the Assembly side has garnered co-sponsors.
Before we start talking more about the bill, I do want, and this is the victory lap for the family. I want people to understand that he glazed over it, you know, like he just be talking like, you know what I'm saying? So we did this and we did that, we did this. I want y'all to understand, he flipped a senator. Senator Seersucker Suit flipped.
Right.
When I met Seersucker Suit and I was, you know, with my bright-eyed and bushy-tailed, you know what I'm saying, at the Schomburg, he didn't understand anything of what I was saying, right?
Yep.
But he had already had meetings with you before, but he would act like he didn't know what I was saying. Oh,
that's
sweetheart.
Right.
He talking to me, you know what I'm saying? Like, sweetheart, just come to my office and we could talk about it. So, I said, okay, let me get with the Freedmen Project. So, you know, I want people to understand, and we did that, and not only the hard work of Divine and the other members of the Freedmen Project, and Sister Keisha before us, because that should be a whole nother show.
Yep.
We want to go back and more into so the family. I really want to talk about how y'all really came through with them emails, and I want y'all to keep coming through with these emails. Sister Keisha got it on autopilot. Emails every day, all of them every day at the same time. And then, so we're also working on one that's going to be a lot more consolidated. That's the word I'm looking for. Consolidated, where you can just send kind of one click, right, Divine? That's what we're working on next.
Yes.
So we're going to be working on getting that together, so it's not an individual click for each lawmaker. So look out for that in the next few days.
Yep.
But I just really wanted to take the time to thank everybody who sent emails, because you think that they're going down the abyss. It was one of the first few meetings we went to, and we were talking to one of the young ladies that works with, you know, one of the senators. And as we were talking to her, the head of the chair of the commission was there. And this was like the second meeting, because this was right after Dr. Help me out, the one that's on our side.
Jenkins.
Dr. Jenkins, when she became co-chair, right, when she got voted in co-chair,
yes.
It was the chair who was the deciding vote, and we just knew that we wasn't going to get Dr. Jenkins. We just was like, we was hoping and crossing our fingers or whatever, but we saw that the deck was kind of stacked against us. Yeah. We didn't know that there were some people on the back end on Twitter and Earn on Twitter. We didn't know that Dark and Lovely, well, I didn't know, maybe you knew, that Dark and Lovely was and Earn were having spaces on Twitter about every single reparations meeting. And all over every single state, they go through the reparations meetings, and they had started an email campaign on our behalf to get Dr. Jenkins.
Oh, Net. Earn and Net.
Yes, Net. Yes. Is it Dark and Lovely and Net? Yes, but Net, she really be having, and I did that the last time too. Net. And so they started that email campaign. And so when we were there, and the chair said to us that those emails changed her vote.
Right. That's right.
And that's when I started thinking, okay, now that we have said, you know, at length, you know, how many times that this is unconstitutional. How many times are we going to say it? What do we say now? What do we do now? And that's when when Divine and I came up with the idea of this email letter writing campaign. Yeah. So, and your emails so far have brought us here. We flipped a senator. Yeah. Okay, he's flipping and flopping. Okay, on our side now. Okay, and you got 2 more people to sign on. We are winning. All we have to do is keep going. I feel like Black Alpha. Hold on, let me get my Black Alpha on. Come on, family. We got this. You know what I'm saying? We got this. We in there. Can't nobody do it like us, foundational Black Americans. I love Black Alpha. But yes, we did it. We did that. So we moving. They sitting there telling us what we ain't gonna do, what we can't accomplish. Lies. Sister Keisha and I went to Dance Africa this weekend, right? Let me tell you what I have never seen on a stick in my life.
Come on.
So like, yes, FBA.
Yes, because I had my earrings on. He peeped it, but that was before the flag, so he peeped the earrings. And so he was like, oh, yeah. So, you know, people was out there recognizing us and everything. And then, you know, I found this flag, and I just had to buy it because I've never seen it on a stick before. So I just had to get it. So I say all that to say, like, you know, the tides are turning. It's becoming now that you could just walk down the street and buy a flag now. Before, you couldn't even find it anywhere. Nobody even knew it existed. They didn't know what it was.